Whew. Welcome back to another great Sunday evening. You're joining us on the Hype Mind. I'm Bear with Daniel, and boy, you're in for another treat, but you already knew that. That's why you're here. So I wanted to talk about the communication style that women use because a lot of men don't understand this, right? So what we're accomplishing here is a new level of consciousness, a little bit of education, right? You're going to learn something you didn't know, but it's also going to help you to stop making other mistakes that you're making a lot.
Right.
And I can see that from coming from the mistakes I've made. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know how easy it is to fall into the trap.
Yeah. You say women, make women communicate like this. Well, I've seen a lot of men communicate like this too, and I get mad at it. I get frustrated.
Well, it is the feminine style of communication.
It's not the same. No, I know. It doesn't work the same. It's different. It's like I feel more inclined to give,
but the point is
communication. I'm like, yeah, you get a pass on that, but like, guys, nah, man.
Well, there's a difference. I mean, we're talking about the way women communicate because because I'm not hitting on guys. So when I run into this, yes, I run into it in men, like Daniel's saying, right? And but the difference is with women, you need to know how to respond so you can accomplish what you're seeking to accomplish. With men, you can just slap them in the face because they don't get a pass. Yeah, I mean, if you encounter, you're going to see this. Great point. You're going to see this with dudes. If you're a straight dude looking for advice on how to communicate with women, you're going to see this with dudes too. It's good to understand. It's definitely good to be able to pick up on, so you can decide to make the calls, but you should already be deciding that. You should already be holding your own frame and not putting up with wishy-washy responses. But there's some really big key points that I came upon. Just I was doing some reading and these crossed my mind, and I was like, wow, this is something that it didn't resonate as important as it really is. And so yeah.
Dude, let's hear them.
Yeah. Well,
be sure.
We were probably both first introduced to this by Coach Corey, and he brings up a good point, right? Women communicating directly, right? I think of the chapter where he talks about meeting a woman out, and you go up to her and you say, hey, is anybody sitting here, right? And you judge the response, right? The response of no, the seat's available versus no, it's available, right? And the hesitation and the lack of enthusiasm and all the other things, right? You need to be able to pick up the indirect communication that's saying, I don't want you to sit down here, right? Because one of the big points I remember getting from that book was him saying men don't know how to take no for an answer. And there's a reason behind that, right? Biologically, persistence works for men. Right. That's what they have to do in many cases. No. You have to be persistent. You have to in a certain way prove yourself, right? Not by dumping all your accomplishments out, but in a certain way prove yourself as a man that she wants to be with. And you have to be persistent, right? But sometimes it's not necessary, right? Sometimes no means no, right? Sometimes her saying no, that's it, done. No reason to get butthurt, no reason to get upset, no reason to come back with some rude response or something stupid like a lot of guys do, like a lot of immature people, right? A lot of people will say, oh, well, this is how a beta male will respond, right? I don't even think that's fair because I just think in general, human beings are inclined to respond to rejection and hostility in that way. And so, it doesn't matter who you are. Don't make the mistake of responding. Pick up on what she's saying and move on.
You're
I keep
talking
going.
about indirectly,
More
directly what she's saying. Talk about indirectly what she's saying. If she's
yes,
indirectly
exactly.
saying no, right? So like an example of that would be saying no without saying no. So
Yeah, no, literally
could be
though.
lack of interest. Well, I think this is the big thing that
Body language. What she is she
yeah,
looking at
exactly.
you?
Because you can't always just, assume or read the words, right, of what she's saying. Read the actions, guys. Actions, dude, are gonna tell you everything. Stop looking
Both.
at
It's both.
what she's saying with her words. Like, look at
And a combination.
paying attention to you. She seem interested in you when you're talking to her. It's like, I just give you an example too. It's like, in different situations. For example, you're going out or you're suggesting get together for a date, and she goes,
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah, she goes, hey, like, I really want to see you, but blah blah blah, this is going on. It seems like a valid excuse. Gentlemen,
Right.
I want you to ignore that, okay? I want you to say, how she's lying. She's just not interested unless she gives you an
Right.
alternative.
She's
date,
looking
right?
out for
Unless she's
your
willing
feelings.
to like take an action to, show that she's interested in you. But
Right, which
reality,
don't take that wrong either. Like
and
that action has to be very deliberate.
you mean, yeah, setting an alternative date.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. However, it's just a good thing to learn is just, people will, if they really want to see you, if they really want to make time for you,
Yeah, well, yeah.
do it. Or
Right.
they're
And a
gonna
good
make the effort to
alternative.
give an alternative date. So, and there we go.
Yeah,
That's
a good alternative is not a phone call, right? Like if she says, "Oh, I can't, I can't make it out to see you this week, but we can talk on the phone." That's not a good alternative. That's I'm not interested in you. I don't want to see you face to face. I don't want to give out my address. I don't want to come to your house. I don't even want to meet in public.
Yep.
A phone call is not an alternative. That's
right,
rejection straight up.
And that's
what you're doing is giving her attention.
Bear, that was perfect right there, because that's how you need to read these situations.
Yeah.
That like, oh, like she is interested. She's willing to talk to me on the phone. Like,
yeah. No.
Get rid of that. Throw that out.
Bail out. Bail out.
Okay.
Well, and that's a good example though. With the date making, right? Because if she won't make a date, oh, I don't know when I'm available. I don't know what my schedule's like, or hey, what's your schedule like? Or let's meet out Monday. Well, maybe. Well, I don't know. Well, I'm not sure. That's I'm not interested, right? If she wants to meet you, she'll meet you, right? Yeah. Sometimes, like maybe 5 to 10% of the time, persistence is necessary. But if she won't make a date on the first or second, like text exchange, where you attempt to make a date, right? Not the first or second text you send her, then she's not interested. Period. Move on. Be like, okay, well, maybe in the future, right? And you can always leave the chat open. Maybe she'll message you again. Hey, how are you? Right? Which is the door's open to get your foot back in now later. But
the door's open for her to prove herself that she's actually interested in you.
Right. But if you're getting a message like that, I don't know when I'm free. Monday doesn't work, but I won't tell you when works. Stuff like that. Done. Walk. That's it. And the same thing goes for meeting women out, because sometimes you'll make it that far. You'll meet women out, and or you'll make it to a second or third date or whatever the heck's the case, or you'll just approach a woman you've never spoken to before, right? And you'll ask for their number, and they'll say, "Oh, my Instagram." Nope, no, done. Walk. Like that's her saying I'm not interested, right?
Then it's not worth your time.
These are the signs, and she might say something, nice to you, like, wow, you really work out a lot. Shoot me a message on my Snapchat, right? That's not interesting. She's just trying to be nice. She's just trying to make you right, because she's thinking about how she would want to feel. So she's trying to politely put you to the floor and say, you're not at my level. I don't want
you. Guys, this is you. They will rarely say no. They rarely be front and direct and say no.
That was another big thing that I wanted to talk about was the no, right? Men can't take no for an answer, right? Which is why they won't say no to you, right? If you say, would you like to go out on a date? I'll pay for it. And she will not say no. And she won't say no for this reason. Because if she said no, you'd say, why not? What do you have against me? Am I not tall enough for you? Um, what, like, you every guy out there gets upset over this crap, right? She said no, but you don't leave it at that. And because men don't leave it at no and walk away, women have decided to no longer use no. No is not an option anymore. So no, they will not tell you no. They'll give you some wishy-washy bullshit of well, Monday doesn't work, or well, I'll give you my Instagram instead of my number, or um, you know, well, you're really cute. Come back in 5 minutes once I've finished this conversation, or something silly, right? No, she won't give you no. All right, so don't expect her to give you no. Every guy before you's ruined that option, right? That's like, who cares? Just figure it out, read between the lines, move on.
And even after you're dating, you're in a relationship, it's like you're still going to get this indirect communication. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's not interested, but what I believe in, you should just think about, okay, what can I can control in these situations, and how can I learn from what's happening? For example, what can I learn from how she is communicating to me indirectly? And gentlemen, I want you to treat it like a nudge in the right direction of, okay, she doesn't want to decide where to go. That's why she's not, being direct about, oh, I'd like to go here, I'd like to go there. Monday works, but Monday might work. But so take that as
she wants you to decide.
Nudge of, you need to make the decision. She wants you to make the decision. She wants you to decide.
Well, that's a good point. Is often that indirect communication on rejection that you initially see later in the relationship actually gets converted to testing, to continually testing your masculinity, right? Are you still the man that asked me out that I'm now dating, and committing time to? Are you so that indirect communication often will convert from, from indirectly telling you no, I'm not interested, if she's not interested, right? To later down the road, if you are with that person, it'll convert. She'll still use indirect communication, and the reason she does that is to test you, right? And of course, women will also use indirect communication to test you in the beginning too. She might not be saying no, right? It's all up to you on how you read it, but do it like a man. But she might just be testing you. She might just be saying, hey, if I give him, a tough prod, can he take it like a man and still be charming and fun, and try to, keep the moment lighthearted and positive, right? Because maybe it is just a test. Maybe she's not saying no. But if she's not saying no, she's probably testing you to see what you're made out of.
Made a rock.
Yes, and yeah.
Right. It's and the testing could be to get an emotional response out of you.
Right. Well, and that's,
you get
that's
triggered
the
in
other
some
thing.
way. There's a weak spot right there. There's a weak spot in the armor.
Yeah. And they're going to look for that. They might look in the beginning. They might look later down the road. They will continuously look. And the other thing is, you want to go into all of these scenarios, whether you know this person well, whether you've been close, whether this is the first time you're meeting them. You want to go into these scenarios looking to make the other person laugh, smile, experience positive feelings, experience some sort of brief joy, or, longer if you do that better, right? But, when you're in a state of lightheartedness and trying to be funny and happy and good, then the scenario really can't go that poorly, especially if you get rejected. You're indifferent when that happens.
Right. Well, it's flirting. I mean, that's what flirting is. It's like you don't have expectations. You're having fun. You're having a good time.
Right.
And dude, in the end, that's very freaking attractive. It's like, well, who doesn't want to be around people that don't have expectations and want to have a good time? It's like,
well, that's skilled flirting. If you can enter the situation in that mannerism, get rejected and leave the situation in that mannerism, then that is skilled flirting. Because flirting could easily be, hey, you have a lovely smile. And she says, I'm not interested, right? And then you get nasty. Well, fine, I guess I just won't compliment you, right? That's that is flirting, but it's poorly done. If if that's how easy you can be, that's how easy your armor can be penetrated. But that's. Did you have any other comments?
No, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Go forth and do great things.
Go for it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Yes, again. Peace, peace.